How's everybody doing today? This is Zombie Stick, and we're going to open 2 boxes of Conspiracy. Do one on this video and one on the next video. Hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday. A couple of days behind on opening this box. Don't you hate when the work interferes with magic? Got the odd configuration on the boxes. Again. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Skim through most of the commons and uncommons. More concerned with the rares. Our first rare is Silvala's Stampede. Got some Council's Dilemma on there. Starting with you, each player votes for wild or free. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card for each wild vote. Put those creature cards onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest into your library. You may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield for each free vote. And Hired Heist. Nice little hidden agenda. Whenever a creature you control with the chosen name deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 1 blue. If you do, draw a card. And we got us an assassin with the touch and haste. Tokens. Wizard really needs to start putting out foil tokens on some kind of basis. A lot of this stuff is reprints, and if you've been playing for a little while, you'll probably have most of. Good old Gutter Snipe. And we got the 100, or the 100-handed one. Vigilance, 3 colors, 3 white, monstrosity 3, put 3+1 counters on him. As long as 100-handed one is monstrous, it has reach, it can block an additional 99 creatures each combat. That's a lot of creatures. And we have a weight advantage, which is a rare for the draft. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. And then we have the Monarch. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, its controller becomes the Monarch. So, a little give and take on that. Would be amusing if you both played the card. Got Duskmantle Seer, flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player reveals the top card of his or her library, loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost, and then puts it into his or her hand. And then we've got Natural Unity, Hidden Agenda. Creatures you control with chosen name have at the beginning of combat on your turn. You may pay 1 green. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. So far, not impressed overly with the rares. Keeper of Keys. When Keeper of Keys enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you're the Monarch, creatures you control can't be blocked this turn. And then we got Adriana's Valor, Hidden Agenda. Whenever a creature you control with a chosen name attacks, you may pay 1 white. If you do, that creature gains indestructible until the end of turn. It's not too bad. Ooh, I like that zombie token. Psychosis Crawler. Psychosis Crawler's power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life. And we have Summoner's Bond, which is a double agenda. Whenever you cast a creature spell with one of the chosen names, you may search your library for a creature card with the other chosen name, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. Those of you who have not drafted Conspiracy, it is a fun time. Adriana, Captain of the Guard, melee. Whenever a creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 to the end of turn for each opponent you attacked with the creature that's combat. Other creatures you control have melee. And then we got an Echoing Boon, Hidden Agenda. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, if it targets a creature you control with the chosen name, you may copy that spell and may choose new targets for the copy. Expropriate. Council's Dilemma. Starting with you, each player votes for time or money. For each time vote, take an extra turn after this one. For each money vote, choose a permanent owned by the voter and gain control of it. Exile, expropriate. 9 to play that. That's kind of crazy. And we have a rare for the Conspiracy card. Hold the perimeter. At the beginning of your first upkeep, put a 1/2 white soldier creature token with Defender on the battlefield. At the beginning of each other player's first upkeep, that player puts a 1/1 red goblin creature token on the battlefield with this creature can't block. Serum Visions. It's a good card, good card. Recruiter of the Guard. When Recruiter of the Guard enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a creature card with toughness 2 or less, reveal it, and put it in your hand and shuffle your library. Then Hired Heist in an agenda. Whenever a creature you control with a chosen name deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 1 and draw a card. Already read that one, sorry. And we have an Exotic Orchard. Add 1 mana to your mana pool of any color that a land and opponent controls can produce. And then Incendiary Descent. Hidden Agenda. Creatures control with the chosen name have pay 1 red. This creature gets +1/+0 to the end of turn. And we have a really big lizard. 8/8. Really big lizard. Ready and Genius Iconoclast. 1 colorless, 1 black, 1 red. +1. Put a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token with Defender on the battlefield. -1. You may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, destroy target artifact or creature. And then -6. Choose target artifact card in graveyard or artifact on the battlefield. Put 3 tokens that are copies of it onto the battlefield. It's very nice. And then another Incendiary Descent. Followed Footsteps. Enchant creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a token that's a copy of enchanted creature onto the battlefield. And then we got Emissary's Ploy, which is a rare. Before drawing your opening hand, choose 1, 2, or 3. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast creature spells with converted mana cost equal to the chosen number. You can see why that would be very, very handy to draft. Very, very handy. head drawn matrix. Equipped creature gets +X, where X is its converted mana cost. Equip 4. And another Incinerary Descent. And Overrun. I like Overrun. Gratuitous Violence. If a creature you control would deal damage to a creature or player, it deals double that damage to that creature or player instead. And then Natural Unity. Seaver Atriarch, or Exarch, I'm sorry. Stunt Double Flash. You may have Stunt Double enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. And then we have a nice foil. Oh boy. Queen Marchesa. 1 colorless, 1 red, 1 white, 1 black. Death Touch Haste. When Queen Marchesa enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent is the monarch, put a 1/1 black assassin creature token on with Death Touch onto the battlefield, or Death Touch and Haste onto the battlefield. And then Natural Unity again. Show and Tell. Each player may put an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land card from his or her hand onto the battlefield. Very, very nice card. And Summoner's Bond. Double agenda. Whenever you cast a creature spell with one of the chosen names, you may search your library for the other one. And so on. Show and Tell. Nice card, nice card. Harvester of Souls, Death Touch. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may draw a card. An Echoing Boon. Protector of the Crown. When Protector of the Crown enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. All damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to Protector of the Crown instead. And then another Emissary's Ploy. Hamlet back Goliath. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may put X+1/+1 counters on Hamlet back Goliath, where X is that creature's power. And then Adriana's Valor. Another Serum Vision. Horn of Greed. Whenever a player plays a land, that player draws a card. And a full Vaporkin. And a Hired Heist. Spirit of the Hearth, flying, you have hexproof. Yeah. And then Natural Unity. Polyano Vanguard. Draft Polyano Vanguard face up. As you draft a creature card, you may reveal it. Note its creature types, then turn Polyano Vanguard face down. Other creatures you control of a type you noted for cards named Polyano Vanguard get +1/+1. And then we have a foil Duskmantle Seer and Adriana's Valor. Pariah, enchanted creature. All damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to enchanted creature instead. We have a foil fleeting distraction. And we have a mythic conspiracy card, Hymn of the Wilds. Start the game with this conspiracy face up in the command zone. First creature spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. You can't cast instant or sorcery spells. Not real big on that. Fleeting distraction though is kind of nice. You get to draw a card and hold off a little dude for 1 turn. Grinzo Havoc Razor. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, choose 1 gold target creature that player controls. Exile the top card of that player's library till the end of the turn. You may cast that card, and you may spend mana as though it were of any color to cast it. And then we have a Hired Heist. Charmbreaker Devils. At the beginning of your upkeep, return an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Charmbreaker Devils gets +4/+0 to the end of turn. And we got a more Merfolk Sky Scout foil and Incendiary Descent. Capital Punishment. Cancels Dilemma. Starting with you, each player votes for death or taxes. Each opponent sacrifices a creature for each death vote and discards a card for each taxes vote. We got foil Glorious Sycophant. I guess a nice little Diabolical Tutor. Covenant of the Mines. Reveal the top 3 cards of your library. Target opponent may choose to put those cards into your hand. If he or she doesn't, put those cards into your graveyard and draw 5 cards. And assemble the rank in Vial. Hidden agenda. Creatures you control with the chosen name have, when this creature dies, you may pay 1 black. If you do, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token on the battlefield tapped. Sphinx of Magossi, flying. 2 colors, 1 blue, draw a card. Then put a +1/+1 counter on Sphinx of Magossi. And assemble the rank and Vial again. Burgeoning. Whenever an opponent plays land, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Very, 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 very nice. Selvala, Heart of the Wilds. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, its controller may draw a card if its power is greater than each other creature's power. 1 green and tap, add X mana in any combination of colors to your mana pool where X is greatest power among creatures you control. That is phenomenally great. And I do believe that will go straight into my red-green commander deck. That is a wonderful card. And then we have a foil conspiracy card, Adriana's Valor. Custodai Lich. When Custodai Lich enters the battlefield, you may become the monarch. Whenever you become the monarch, excuse me. Whenever you become the monarch, target player sacrifices a creature. And then we have a foil Bonds of Quicksilver. And another Adriana's Battle. And a Goblin token. Assertion, counter target spell. If an artifact or creature spell is countered this way, put that card onto the battlefield under your control instead of into its owner's graveyard. That is kind of nice. Kind of nice. And hold the perimeter once again. Phyrexian Arena, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may draw 1 card and you lose 1 life. And then assemble the rank and vial. Forgotten Ancient. Whenever a player casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Forgotten Ancient. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of +1/+1 counters from Forgotten Ancient onto other creatures. And then a Hired Heist. A couple more packs here, about 3 of them. See if we can pull one more whammy. Dragon Lair Spider. Reach. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a 1/1 green insect creature token onto the battlefield. Then we have a foil Menagerie Liberator. And another Assemble the Rank and Vial. Hallowed Burial. Put all creatures on the bottom of their owner's libraries. Because you can always use one more sweeper. Alright, last rare. Regal Behemoth. Trample. When Regal Behemoth enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. Whenever you tap a land for mana while you're the monarch, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, in addition to the mana the land produces. And Incendiary Descent, and we end on a soldier token. So that was my first box of Conspiracy, and I have to say I was satisfied with it. Hopefully when we open this next box on the next video, we'll have something even better. As always, thanks to NerdCart for allowing me to put videos on his channel. And thanks to Bluegrass Magic for sponsoring the channel. And thanks to all of you who subscribe and like and comment. Spread the word. You all enjoy your day.